This is the new Rotolight Titan X1.
This is a CineD Gear News video.
Hi, I'm Johnny from CineD and I'm here with Rod from Rotolight. Rod, how are you?
I'm very good, thanks. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you very much. And you just announced a new light in your Titan series, and this is the X1.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're very excited about this, Johnny.
Just before we continue, you had the X2, which is really a big fixture, mostly for, I would say, studios or rental houses. And the X1, I think what you try to do is probably keep the same light quality, but more in a portable fixture. So let's dive right into it.
Absolutely. So the Rotolight Titan X1, as you say, builds on the legacy of the X2, which has been very popular in cine and rental. It's the brightest 1x1 light in the class. It's also the best color accuracy and the best energy efficiency. But what we tried to do, Johnny, as you rightly say, is take some of the most innovative features from the X2 and pack this light full of them. So we have some very, very exciting things that really help separate this light from other things on the market.
That all sounds very good, and I'm sorry, please do not consider me rude, but I have to cut right into the next question before we really touch the quality of that particular light. There's so many 1x1 lights in the market. What are the, let's say, two things that really makes that light special?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think the first one is a feature that we call Smart Soft, diffusion with a difference. And effectively, the light has electronic diffusion built in, so you can go from a completely clear to completely diffused electronically from the touch of a button. You can also do this wirelessly or over DMX, and it's the first time in the industry that's been done. And I think, Johnny, in the COVID world that we live in nowadays, where you need to shoot things with as few as people as possible, and maybe if it's just yourself, not having to carry modifiers and bring softboxes and additional C-stands is a really big advantage, and it eliminates the need for additional modifiers. It allows one light source to be both soft and also have a harder light source all in one if that's what you want.
This is actually an amazingly interesting feature. Is there a limit, let's say, for the size of light in order to implement something like this? Because in my mind, one day maybe you will even continue to minimize the whole let's say, the family of lights, yeah, and go to something even smaller. Can you implement that type of feature even in smaller lights?
You absolutely can. It's a real technical challenge, the diffusion, to work. The way that it works is effectively the resting state is fully diffused, and we're using electric current to scatter the particles in the front, which allow us to get anywhere from a 60-degree beam to 115. So it was quite a big challenge for us to take that from the X2 to the X1, and took a lot of experimentation to get that right, but we've successfully done that. And of course, I think, as you know, Johnny, with Rotolight, we're always trying to innovate and push the boundaries of innovation. So for sure, watch this space with the technologies. But the 1x1, the Titan X1 here really does represent, I think, the best of all options, in the sense that you've got a light that's very happy on location. It's not very heavy. It's easy to transport, but it's got so many features in there that if you're a filmmaker or if you're also a photographer, there's a couple of other very unique features. So one of those is the integrated touchscreen. Nowadays, most lights are like small supercomputers. They've got special effects and they've got RGB, and yet you're left with a small 1x1 inch square and submenus trying to find the feature. You've got to read the manual. What we wanted to design with this was something that's almost like an iPhone. You don't need to read the manual. It's touch responsive. There's no lag or delay. And all of the menus you'd want regular access to are one touch away. You can save custom presets, which you can save to a USB stick and load later. And that just saves a lot of time on set, so much so that you can have your next scene set up. The last one, just to mention to you, Johnny, that's really exciting about this is, as you know, the market nowadays, people are increasingly shooting video and stills at the same time. And what we wanted to do was design a light that would really do both things all in one. So not only is this the brightest 1x1 light in its class and its RGB and 16 million colors, but it's also the world's first high-speed sync flash in a 1x1 light, and it's the first high-speed sync RGB flash. So if you imagine a typical strobe or a monolight, they're fixed color. You can't change the color temperature. So if I'm shooting at daylight, that's great. But if I'm shooting at sunset, I want more of a tungsten look. I therefore need to use a filter, which cuts 40% of the light output. Not only can this light flash at any white light color temperature from daylight to tungsten, it can flash in any RGB color. So there's 16 million different color options. So if you wanted to have a really cool hair light, maybe a pink or a red, or you want to do a fill or a wash, or you could pick from one of the 2,500 filters inside this light. There's a lot of different things to choose from in here.
I guess you need a lifetime to explore all those features, no? With so many millions of colors and how many 2,500 filters?
Yeah, that's right, 2,500 filters. So that each filter is sampled at both 3,200 and also daylight. But yeah, you're right. There's a lot of different things in here, and so the beauty with this is that what the light can do is very technically advanced, but the interface is really simple. So you can drag your finger to select a color. You can maybe for example, Johnny, that you want a red filter for a particular shot, but you're not quite sure which one. You can just say red and then cycle through every filter from Lee and Roscoe and Gamcolor and others until you find the one that you like. It's really very intuitive.
So just a quick rundown of the capabilities of that fixture.
So in terms of brightness, this is almost twice as bright as some of the other lights in the class. So specifically, we're achieving over 18,000 lux at 1 meter distance. In terms of color accuracy, whereas other lights are typically 90, 92, this is achieving 98 TLCI, so beautiful color renditions, saves time in post-production. Of course, it's got the electronic diffusion built in, which is the equivalent of 2 stops of diffusion. And it's, of course, dimmable from 0 to 100%. In terms of power efficiency, Johnny, not only is this light very powerful, but it's also the most energy efficient. So in terms of lux output versus watts consumed, this is by far and away the class-leading light, which means on battery, of course, you could take less batteries or have more runtime. And for studios, the operating costs are that much lower. So best energy efficiency, best power, and best color accuracy in class.
Where do you make your light?
That's a good question. So Rotolight is a British technology company, and our manufacturing is actually in Essex. We share a production line with Red Bull Formula One and also Boeing. It's an aerospace production line, so they literally put parts in space, and it's built to exactly the same standard. So it's fair to say, Johnny, that doing that, it costs us a lot of money to do that. But with this product, we wanted to produce something that was really state-of-the-art, that someone could invest in and be confident that it's going to last several years of investment. And actually on that point, it has a USB firmware update socket, and just in the last 12 months alone, we've released 5 or 6 major updates for the Titan. So if this is a product you invest in, it's going to stay current for many years to come. Let's
try to summarize here. Whom are you actually targeting with this new product?
Yeah, sure. So this product is really ideal for filmmakers and independent crews. So if you're a 1 or 2 man crew and you want to have E&G setups or interview setups, this is absolutely perfect. It's also great for new studios who want to have something that's very low on operating cost, where they could electronically control diffusion, for example. And finally, Johnny, for professional photographers, for those who appreciate a high-speed sync flash with genuinely 0 recycle time, with all of the RGB color options. And of course, if there's someone in between who does both stills and video, this is the ultimate hybrid 1x1 light.
How about pricing and availability?
Yeah, sure. So we're announcing the product today. It's shipping this month, so November 2020. We have a very special launch offer given the unusual COVID times that we live in. So we're offering people up to $1,000, £600 or 650 euros off this light until December the 31st. It's available from CVP, from B&H, Rotolight.com, and other leading retailers around the world.
I guess there will always be the cheaper light, but that's not necessarily the better solution for any of the guys, you know what I mean? So it's really a matter of looking at what you need, how much you want to spend. I guess what the light can give you and how long you might have it. And I think what you're aiming here is really a product that can stay with you for quite a long time.
That's absolutely right. I think what we've strived to achieve with the Titan X1 here is a product that's state-of-the-art in terms of features, so electronic diffusion, power, versatility, hybrid stills and hybrid video, filters, RGB. You've got so much in here. That's also something that's an investment that's going to stand that test of time. It's designed to be used and abused. And you get that British quality and also service from Rotolight directly. So it's a very unique light.
I was really hoping you're going to say you're going to get this British humor in this light, but you're talking about British quality. Okay, well, I guess that it is what it is for now. Rod, thank you very much. Anything else before I say goodbye? Any other feature that either we forgot or I forgot to ask and you suddenly think maybe the machine can do cappuccino, who knows?
I think the only thing we could mention is we're launching a whole accessory range, and also just to let customers about the X2 know that this is we're calling this firmware 2.0. So all of these features with Flash is now available for any existing Titan customer, so I could mention that briefly.
So the firmware will run both on the X2 and the X1? I mean, it's a similar firmware?
It's the identical firmware. It has the same firmware for both.
Rod, as always, thank you very much. It was really a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you, Johnny.
And guys, please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you.
This is a CineD Gear News video.